Looks like it. Give him another minute.
And Shelley were down to a few, and then Jude picked out Cade. And we thought, that's a cool name. The day before.
I don't understand what the hell. I'm not sure what's going on.
That's kind of a neat name.
Good evening. We got a pretty full agenda. I think we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome on this, whatever you want to call it, beautiful late summer or early fall day. Call the roll, please.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Mahler, Walling, Schott,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
I need a motion to approve the meeting agenda for tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion about the meeting agenda before we call the roll? If not, call the roll, please.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Moving on to consent agenda. Tonight for consent agenda, we have the following: minutes of the August 15th, 2022 regular city council meeting, payments for contract services. These are all to Boatman Mink, so I'll just read the dollar amounts and what it is and not Boatman Mink each time. General and municipal engineering in the amount of $6,367.50. Violet Hill Cemetery Management, $2,567.50. Iowa Street Stormwater Wetland, $1,089.50. Frog Creek Stream Restoration Phase 1, $16,192.50. Sanitary Sewer SIP lining, $483. Comprehensive Plan Update, $21,857.45. And those should total up to $48,557.45. Tonight for claims, registers, and financials, we have $816,327.87. We also have the following licenses and permits. The following have applied for a liquor license. El Rey Market LLC, doing business as El Rey Market, 210 West Willis Avenue, renewal of a Class C carryout beer permit, Sunday sales privilege. TPT Enterprises LLC, doing business as 10 Pig Tavern, 1201 and 1203 2nd Street, renewal of a Class C liquor license and outdoor sales permit, catering permit, and Sunday sales privilege. The police and fire inspections have been completed and as usual are on file at City Hall. Need a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda items?
I make a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
I'll second.
Any discussion about those items? If not, call the roll, please.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to city administrator's report.
All right, I've got a few things for us this week. It's been a little bit of an extra bit of time since our last meeting, but did want to touch on the Latino Festival. Heard it was a nice parade, and we did have a city participation in the parade. So thanks to Ruben Gonzalez for driving the parade with, I think, daughter and granddaughters, which I think they all had fun. So that was nice. It was also the kickoff to our comprehensive plan update outreach. So Bolton Mink was at the Latino Festival at Pattee Park with the tent and some activities, hoping to get some public participation for that. So had a good turnout, I think. Lots of good vendors, lots of good food. So that was good. A couple of weeks ago, John Anderson and I went on a little bit of a tour of some natural playscapes. So looking to do something like that at the Iowa Street wetland area. So something a little bit different than some of the playgrounds we have around. So we had a good time exploring some of those, and it was very hard to get John back in the car to go back home at the end of the day. And then last week, we did also have a little employee breakfast. It was a nice time to get everybody together, just update on some projects we have going on, and spend some time together all together. So it's kind of what I have. Anybody have questions for me?
Okay, moving on to mayor council comments. I'd like to also say I thought the Latino Festival was a very nice event. Went well, except for porta potties weren't delivered, but Mary and the city helped out covering that. I thought it was a nice day and nice event. Went well as usual, and there was a good turnout. Lots of vendors this year, more than usual, I think. Also, spent on the breakfast last week with some of the city staff. I did attend and gave a great presentation over some of the projects going on, and I think staff really appreciated it. And I appreciate the fact that it happened. I think it was a nice event. Next week is homecoming, and the city sponsors part of that. So it's always a good event. And Wednesday of next week is volunteer day. So you may, if you're in town that morning and early afternoon, you may see some volunteers out and about. I think that's always a great activity, and the city and others participate in having volunteers come to do some work. And I think it's a great event for the community. Gets the students involved and interacting with city staff, and they do more than just city work, but it's always a great event. So, and then the parade will be next Wednesday. So lots of good things happening with homecoming. We hope the weather also cooperates. And as we all know, school started, and just a reminder to watch out for kids and school buses. You know, I haven't heard of anything in Perry happening with the school buses, but I've been hearing on the news that once again this year, unfortunately, there's lots of people, not in Perry, but in other places across the country, probably in Iowa too, that are going through those school bus stop arms and not stopping. It's not only dangerous, it's also costly for people violating that. I think that's all I have. Council?
I've got the ride run coming to Perry on October 8th. It's a Saturday morning from 10 to 3. Last year we had almost 100 entries. So hopefully we'll have that or more this year. All of downtown will be blocked off from Willis down 2nd Street until Ben Franklin's. So hopefully we'll see a bunch of people there. We've got a hospital fun run that goes down through there. There's a lot of activity happening that day. So that's October 8th, over a month from now.
You ordered us some good weather, of course.
We hope so.
Any other council comments?
I do. Already I have been driving around town at various times before school starts and so on. And I see kids headed to school, walking in the street, walking the wrong way in the street if it's a one-way. And I understand we don't have sidewalks every place. But my heavens, I worry that when they're coming the wrong direction and somebody isn't paying attention and they would accidentally run in, you know, parents, please have your kids walk the right way of the street and stay over close to the curb instead of spreading out 3 or 4 wide, you know, down the center of the street. Because I sure don't want anybody to run into a child or have a child get run into. And I just want to bring that to people's attention.
Good point. Any other council comments? If not, tonight we have a special part of our meeting where we are going to swear in 2 new police officers. Chief Vaughn and the officers, of course, are here. Chief Vaughn's going to do an introduction and talk a little bit about the new officers, and then we will swear them in.
Thank you. So we're talking about, come on up here. We're gonna make you come up front. So, yeah, thank you. So we'll do a little swearing in just here in a minute by the mayor. So just like to introduce the officers to you guys. First officer here is James Lieber. James graduated from Perry High School back in 2005. He's been on the Perry Fire Department as a volunteer and also as a volunteer for the Dallas County Sheriff's Department as a reserve officer. He's also worked at the Woodward Resource Center. That's where he worked prior to coming to us. So he brings some good experience and some good knowledge back to our department and to the citizens. He has a real commitment since he's lived here and grown up here, as does our other officers. So we're really pleased to have him come on board with us. He graduated back in April, so we just haven't had a chance to get him sworn in yet, so we're going to do that today. The other officer is Cameron Martinez. Cameron graduated graduated high school here, also in Perry, back in 2015. He went off to school in Missouri for 2 years through a military academy, and then finished his education at Tabor College in Kansas, where he received his degree in criminology and restorative justice. So Cameron was working at the TSA here in Des Moines, learned of a job opening from his sister, so we brought him back on board here back early this spring, and he just graduated from the academy August 18th, I think. 18th, August 19th. So again, Cameron's a local kid, grew up here, has lived here most of his life, which is great, brings that experience, brings that knowledge back. Cameron also speaks Spanish, so that will greatly help us out in our department also. So just two great additions. And again, it's nice to be bringing some people that have grown up here and have a real commitment to Perry and to see it grow and prosper and bring it back to the police department. To the community.
I'm gonna stay right after, well, swearing in. But before we do that, I'd like to just echo what Keith wants to. Both of you are two great young men that bring a lot of good background and experience. It's nice to come back for savings in your hometown to help us out. And also, this is the full staff we've had many years in our department. So I know Chief has worked hard at that for many years. That's also good. We're really glad to have both of you. I will swearing in. We'll do it at the same time. I'll say your name. Raise your right hand. Say your name. I keep working this day. And repeat after me. Do solemnly swear or affirm. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States. I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution. I'll faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of the office of the Perry. Discharge all the duties of the Perry Police Department in Perry, Iowa. As now or hereafter, required by law. Congratulations. Next thing on our agenda is open forum. Again, we have open forum. This is anybody's opportunity to speak about any item on tonight's agenda or any other topic that they so choose to bring up. As always, speakers will be asked to step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record, and you have up to 3 minutes to address the council. Open forum, do we have anybody tonight for open forum? Seeing none, I guess we'll move on to public hearing. We have.
Did I miss my chance? Sorry. Am I on?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I couldn't tell if I was unmuted or not. This is Lindsay with the Perry Chamber. Just giving a real quick update. We've got 5 different ribbon cuttings scheduled this month, 4 all in one week, 2 in one day, starting with this coming Friday is a chamber coffee and ribbon cutting at Quality Marble and Tile at 8 a.m. And then on September 19th, which is a Monday, we have 2. One is a ribbon cutting at Progressive Foundry, and the other is at Dallas County Hospital. So both with celebrating their expansions. The very next day on Tuesday, the 20th, we'll be at the Perry Middle School, kind of doing the official open house for that renovation. And then that Friday, still so new, I haven't even gotten anything else out about it. It's will be at 3 o'clock at Remax Precision. So one official new business in town and the other celebrating expansions or officially welcoming them to the Chamber Network. So that is all I have. Hope to have a nice turnout from everybody there. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to see so many ribbon cuttings that we've had and continue to have this year. Thank you. Anybody else for open forum? If not, we'll move on to our 2 public hearings. The first one's public hearing on the intent to dispose of public property by sale. The purpose of this hearing is to inform the public of the proposed purchase agreement with Simplify Commercial Solutions LLC. The council will at this time receive any public comments on the matter at this time. Comments?
This is just part of our process for selling that lot at the industrial park to Mr. and Mrs. Diaz of Simplify Commercial Solutions, which I think is the first action under business.
Okay. Any questions or discussion about the sale of this property? Okay. I should have said this public hearing opened at 6:15, and if there's no other comments, it closes at 6:17. Move on to our second public hearing. As a proposed amendment to establish a 4% franchise fee, the council will hold a hearing on a proposal to amend the ordinance number 840 by establishing a franchise fee of 4% on the gross revenues of Interstate Power and Light Company electric energy sales in the city of Perry. The council will receive public comments on the matter at this time. This public hearing opens at 6:17. Comments? Yes.
No, that's okay. It doesn't pick up if I.
Jim Caulfield, 2124 Estelle Street, the Perry News. I don't see Ray Harden here, but I know he had raised a question about I guess you'd say the legality of this increase in the franchise fee in light of some court cases coming out of Des Moines. And I think he made the council aware of that history. So I'd be curious to know if there's any response to that, if this sounds like something that the city can pass without risk of being sued. I see the city attorney here. Maybe he's.
So the article and information that Mr. Harden sent to City Council was a court case from 2012. Since that time, state law has changed. And this is all going with the formal legal process, working with our city attorney and Alliant Energy. So it's kind of an outdated court case that he referenced.
Okay, so the state law has changed in such a way that the use of those franchise fee revenues are a little looser as far as.
That was the revenue purpose statement that we adopted at the last council meeting. Yes. Yep. Yep.
Thank you. Any other?
And I think one other point to make, this it's not unclear, but just want to clarify that we currently have a 2% franchise fee, and this is increasing it to 4%. So
really the increase is 2%, not 4%. We already have 2%.
Yep.
Thank you. Any other comments for this public hearing? If not, this public hearing closes at 6:20 p.m. And we will move on to old business. Resolution approving a purchase agreement for the sale of city-owned property per a development agreement with Simplify Commercial Solutions LLC, approved by the City Council Resolution 051622D, a parcel of real property owned by the city in the industrial park is to be sold to the company. The city published and held a public hearing on the matter pursuant to the Code of Iowa 403.8. This resolution would approve the purchase agreement between the City of Perry and Simplify Commercial Solutions LLC for real property legally described as lot 1. I'm not going to read the legal description. It's on file if you want it. That was for a purchase price of $134,000, which with the city crediting the buyer with $24,000 economic development grant at the time of closing. It would also authorize and direct the mayor and city administrator, either one, to execute the documents necessary to sell and transfer title to the described property. Need a motion?
I make a motion we pass resolution approving the purchase agreement, the sale of city-owned property.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
this is kind of the continuation of the development agreement that we entered into with Diaz's a couple months ago. And just closing on the property here. His building has shown up and it's out there, so it's ready to go as soon as we get all this done. I think we're waiting on some finalization of site plan that's going to be going to planning and zoning here soon. So we'll be able to really see some movement out there this fall.
His parts of that rented out already, doesn't he?
I believe so.
Spoken
Yep.
for.
Yep.
That's
Or at
awesome.
least letters of commitment.
Right.
So
Good.
yeah,
That's awesome.
very encouraging.
Works out well for him. Any other discussion about this purchase agreement? If not, call the roll, please.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Next item, resolution accepting a Federal Aviation Administration Airport Improvement Program, FY 2021 Supplemental Grant Program. Grant agreement on August 16, 2022. The city was provided by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, a grant agreement awarding for the extended runway 32 feet and by 1,500 feet. Construct turnaround, install medium intensity runway edge lighting, install PAPIs and REILs on runway 32nd end. Phase 5 design and construction, and which agrees to pay 100% of the allowable costs incurred accomplishing the project with a maximum obligation of $4,386,499. Due to a return deadline to the council had to participate in a phone poll to ensure return of the accepted and signed grant before the August 30th, 2022 deadline. On August 19th, 2022, the council was polled. An action to accept and authorize the city administrator to sign such grant agreement was carried by unanimous vote. This action formally accepts the grant terms and authorizes the city administrator to sign all documents necessary to execute. Need a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve resolution accepting the Federal Aviation Administration Airport Improvement Program fiscal year 2021 supplemental grant program grant agreement.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
So I'll just kind of cover all three of these items at once. They're all three FAA grants. So the first two were time sensitive, and like the mayor said, we did a phone poll to get those approved for the deadline. And then the last one was actually the grant for the 4,000 feet of paving, which is due for a few days yet. So all of this just kind of rolled into one, 2 for paving and 1 for the final land acquisition. So kind of nice to get all those agreements done and in place and money secured. So. Any questions on the 1 or 3 of those?
If there's no questions or further discussion, call the roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Okay. Next item, resolution accepting a FAA Airport Improvement Program AIP grant agreement. On August 16th, 2022, the city was provided by the Federal Aviation Administration a grant agreement for required parcels listed as parcel 9F, 10F, 12F, 13F, 15F, 16F, and 17F, and which agrees to pay 90% of the allowable costs incurred accomplishing the project with a maximum obligation of $617,031. Due to return deadlines, the council had to participate in a phone poll to ensure return of the accepted and signed grant before the August 30th, 2022 deadline. On August 19th, 2022, the council was polled and in action to accept and authorize the city administrator to sign such grant agreement was carried by a unanimous vote. This action formally accepts the grant terms and authorizes the city administrator to sign all documents necessary to execute. Need a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution accepting the FAA grant, Airport Improvement Program AIP grant agreement.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Berglund,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Next item, resolution accepting FFA Airport Improvement Program grant agreement. On September 1st, 2022, the city was provided by the Federal Aviation Administration a grant agreement awarding for the construction of runway 14/30 seconds, 32 feet, 4,000 feet by 100 feet, 400 feet south of existing runway 14/32, 4,000 feet by 75 feet, and convert existing runway 14/32 into parallel taxiway, installing LED medium intensity runway edge lighting, MIRLSs, install medium intensity taxiway edge lights, install BAP and REILS on runway 14, and phase 4 paving and construction engineering, and which agrees to pay 90% of the allowable costs incurred accomplishing the project with a maximum obligation of $4,919,850. This action would accept the grant terms and authorize the city administrator to sign all documents necessary to execute. Need a motion, please?
Make a motion, we pass a resolution accepting the FAA Airport Improvement Program AIP grant agreement.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
Why couldn't we have done this all in one motion?
Because they're each individual grant agreements.
So we have to do them individually.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we have listed all three and not legal?
It's just a little bit cleaner and easier to keep track of this way.
Okay, thank
So.
you.
Any further discussion?
The FAA is pretty picky, right, Susie?
Very.
Yes. If they don't like it, they'll let us know. If there's no further discussion, call the roll, please.
Berglund.
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Next item, approval of pay application number 15 for the wastewater treatment facility improvements. Pay application number 15 in the amount of $1,065,730.90 to Woodruff Construction for the construction of the wastewater treatment facility improvements. To date, total payments requested by the contractor is 42.2% of the total amount of work to be completed under the contract. All documents have been reviewed and signed by the engineer and are recommended for approval. Need a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve approval of pay application number 15 for the wastewater treatment facility improvements.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
I think Jacob is here with an update.
So a quick construction update with where they're at with being within the seating limits. They're backfilling a bunch of the pipes, looking at getting that final seating bed out there, getting things restored just for the fall season here, nicer weather, rain conditions. I know my notes back there, but I believe it's the MCC equipment. They're waiting for a progress update to see when that's supposed to be coming in. And that's one of the bigger pieces we're waiting on right now is equipment from the contractor. So that's kind of where things sit right now.
We're pretty much still right on track.
To my knowledge, yep. Okay. So the last progress meeting, the biggest thing was looking at that schedule on the equipment, just with shipping and I'm going to call it COVID, which hopefully we're past that, but just the supply chain and where things sit right now. So,
okay.
So what's completion date forecast?
I believe that's
The turn on date of the new plant is, I think, July of 23, and then total deconstruction of the existing plant of what's not being used is by the end of 23.
Great. Because they got to get everything up
Allegedly
and running before they can rip out the old and kind of phasing it through that they have the right components still. Yep. So it's a DNR phasing.
So another year. It's a long project. It's a large project, so.
Be nice when it's done.
I bet. It's been in the works for a little bit, just like the airport, so.
Any other discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Next item under old business, approval of pay application number 5 for phase 1 of the relocation of runway 14/32. Pay application number 5 is in the amount of $371,159.30 to Wenthold Excavating LLC for grading work on phase 1 of the relocation of runway 14/32 has been received and signed by the engineer, which recommends approval. Need a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the pay application number 5 for phase 1 of relocation of runway 1432.
I'll second.
I think for the most part out there, they're just working on the sub drains for the 4,000 feet of runway, and then hoping and waiting to be able to get set loose on the grading for the extension. So pretty much the grading for the 4,000 feet of runway is more or less done. And they're just kind of waiting, hoping that they can do some grading for the extension yet this fall.
Any further discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Berkeley,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Moving on to new business. Resolution authorizing the sale of unused or outdated equipment and/or property. The city of Perry has accumulated a piece of equipment that is no longer needed for municipal purposes and desires to dispose of the following: 2013 Ford Interceptor sedan. This equipment will be disposed of in a manner calculated to obtain the best possible sale price, and the finance officer will deposit the proceeds into the city of Perry's operation fund accordingly. Need a motion, please?
I move the approval of resolution authorizing the sale of outdated equipment.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
Just the latest police cruiser to be out of rotation, and it is nice to say that all of our other vehicles are in good enough shape that we don't need to rotate this out. So we are disposing of this one. So
Any other discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Schott,
Yes.
Berkeley,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Next item under new business, resolution certifying the population of voluntarily annexed territories in the city of Perry pursuant to section 312.3 subsection 4 of the Code of Iowa, the mayor and city council must certify the population of the annexed territories as determined by the last certified federal census to the state of Iowa treasurer. Resolutions 071822A and 071822B approve the annexation of parcels. You're not gonna make me read the numbers, all right. Annexation of 2 parcels and the territories have become part of the city of Iowa, Dallas County. Upon acknowledgement received from the Secretary of State dated August 19, 2022, this resolution would certify the population for the annexed parcels and authorize it be sent to the state of Iowa treasurer accordingly. Need a motion, please?
I make a motion to pass a resolution certifying the population of voluntarily annexed territories in the city of Perry.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Just all part of the annexation process for us.
Any further discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Next item on new business, resolution approving an hourly services agreement with Ethos Design Group, Inc. Staff has determined a need for architectural services on an as-needed basis for various situations within normal municipal operation. This agreement allows access to a team of architects to assist in solving problems or identify design solutions for various issues when necessary. Need a motion, please?
I make a motion to pass a resolution approving an hourly service agreement with Ethos Design Group, Inc.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
So as everybody hopefully knows, Ethos is the architecture firm that did the rec center remodel and the library remodel, and then the Hotel Pat T facility study. In conversations with them, I would like to just do kind of a general architectural services agreement, just like we have general engineering agreement. Just so that if we ever need a small project or them to look at something, we don't need to do a whole scope. It's just an hourly agreement that's then built. So
How much is that?
I don't have it off. It's on the last page.
I missed that too.
Similar, yeah. It's just kind of graded out based on the level of professional service they have.
Yeah, it ranges from 175 for principal all the way down to $75 for an executive assistant.
Thank you.
So just kind of gives us a little bit of latitude to be able to, you know, if we need to call on them to pick out tile for the entryway of the rec center or something like that, we can do that and just get billed hourly. So
Why would we do that when we have people at the rec that can pick them?
well, I don't know that I trust them with colors.
Any,
I'm colorblind, I'll pick them up.
Fine.
any further discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, next item under new business. Resolution approving an American Water Total Treatment Program. This contract is for water treatment on a quarterly basis on our closed water loops within our HVAC systems. For the McCurry Community Building, City Hall, and the Public Library, and the Carnegie Library. These sites all have closed water loops for the boilers and the chillers. This water treatment will stop corrosion and increase the longevity of the boilers and chillers. The water will also be treated for pH levels, and the water will be adjusted as necessary to minimize the effects of corrosion. This resolution would approve the program and its cost of $1,417. Need a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve resolution approving the American Water Total Treatment Program.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
This is really a great deal. When I was at the schools, we treated all our water, and our boilers lasted for almost 100 years. It's something that's needed, especially in a closed loop.
How often does this need to be done?
It'll be done, they add monthly.
for hourly services agreement. So,
When it's needed.
Yeah, preventative maintenance, it helps out. Any other discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Okay, next item under new business, resolution accepting a proposal and authorizing for maintenance repairs to the McCurry Community Building facilities. It has been determined that certain repairs and replacements are needed at the McCurry Community Building. The two fan coil units need replacement as they are original to the building, along with replacements of showers and repairs to the restroom facilities and the locker rooms. An 8-inch valve in the pump room for the pool also needs to be replaced and is a time-sensitive repair as the work can only be completed when the pool is drained. The pool is scheduled for cleaning in October, at which time it will already be drained. The maintenance department and the Parks and Recreation Director finds it necessary to complete these replacements and repairs at the McCurry Community Building and received a proposal from Dries Company for said repairs and replacements. This resolution would accept the proposal and authorize the repairs to be completed for the proposed amount of $52,079. Need a motion, please?
Make a motion to pass resolution accepting a proposal authorizing for maintenance repairs in the McCurry Community Buildings facility.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
So this one is coming to us as 100% my fault. This was supposed to be in the budget that was approved this spring, but somehow in all of my spreadsheet and massive papers, it got missed. So John was gracious enough to bring that to my attention, and we got it on the agenda to get cleaned up. So this is coming out of the local option maintenance fund, and we'll get some additional repairs to the rec center done.
Okay. Any other discussion on these repairs?
I just want to thank John for being so forward. Good job, John.
If there's no further discussion, call the roll, please.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Next item, resolution approving purchase of a used G4500 ambulance for the Perry Fire Department. The current first responder emergency vehicle is very dated and no longer reliable for emergency calls. In emergency first response calls, the performance and dependability of the emergency vehicle is vital for call responses and public safety. Staff has been working on the disposal and/or repurposing of underutilized equipment in the department to help properly size the fleet for the department's needs. The Dallas County Emergency Medical Service has listed a used 2015 Chevrolet Express G4500 ambulance on Purple Wave Auction. I have to check that site, never looked at it. For an internet auction that will close on September 13, 2022. This resolution would authorize city personnel to participate in the auction and to place a bid not to exceed $12,500 for the emergency vehicle. If the department were to be the winning bid for the used 2015 Chevrolet Express G4500 ambulance, it will take the current first responder emergency vehicle and convert it into a non-emergent vehicle that will be used for a rehab unit on major fire calls and during extreme and inclement weather for responder use. Need a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve resolution approving the purchase of a used G4500 ambulance for the Perry Fire Department.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
I assume it's a typo, but it says non-emergent. Does it mean non-emergency?
It would mean that it's not a first out vehicle.
Okay.
So, you know, sometimes in the winter, if there's a fire, they'll bring a support vehicle like this for firefighters to go into and warm up. Or in the summer, it's air conditioned so they can go into it and cool down in the summer. So just kind of a rehabilitation vehicle. Also can carry other supplies to support first responders. So more of kind of a backup vehicle for once the scene is secured, stuff like that.
What's plan B if we don't win this auction?
Probably keep an eye out on auctions. It's kind of a good opportunity. It's actually just sitting right there by the ambulance service department in Perry. So kind of a good opportunity. The current ambulance still works. It's just not in ideal condition. So it's a good opportunity for us to get a good vehicle, hopefully at a good price. So just hope we can win the auction.
Any other discussion? Not call the roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Berkland,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Next item, resolution approving the withdrawal from an intergovernmental action agreement. City Council of the City of Perry, Iowa entered into an intergovernmental action agreement providing for a safety group, Central Iowa South, administered through Iowa Association of Municipal Utilities and other municipalities to provide safety services. The city has used SGCIS to provide safety training services over the last several years. However, after the Perry City Safety Committee met on August 17, 2022, they recommended withdrawing from the SGCIS. It is the committee's recommendation to have True North Insurance and IMWCA provide future training needs at a discounted cost. With approval to withdraw and send notification to IAMU, the agreement with SGCIS would expire on June 30th, 2023. The city's intention is to still be a paying member to IAMU. The motion, please.
I make a motion to approve resolution approving the withdrawal from an intergovernmental action agreement.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
Josh is on hand to discuss this item.
Make it real quick. We've been a member with IAMU, which is Iowa Association of Municipal Utilities, to go with other cities together to collaboratively do some safety training and stuff. Part of what our safety committee decided is that we kind of want to go a different route. In order to do that, we have to give them notice 90 days before the end at the start of the calendar year. That's why we're doing this. We'll still be a member till the end of June 2023, but looking at having True North Insurance and our work comp carrier provide our safety training after the June date. At a discount, it'll be a cheaper cost to us, is what we're anticipating. So, and I think just a little bit better training services.
Questions or discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Berkland,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Next item under new business, resolution addressing a parcel. The property located at the corner of Otley and 12th Street is currently addressed as 2124 Otley. However, it receives driveway access and faces 12th Street. Standard procedures is to address properties based on where primary access is received. The Perry Community School District has requested that the address be updated to correct this discrepancy. This resolution would approve the readdressing of the parcel to 1023 12th Street. Motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve this addressing a parcel. The Shiveleys will be happy.
I'll second that.
Discussion? If there's no discussion, call the roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Berkland.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution approving a job description and wage for the Assistant Chief of Police position in the city of Perry, Iowa. Due to restructuring of the police department, it is necessary to update and revise the job description and wage for the position of Assistant Chief of Police to better fit the current structure at the police department. The job description is attached and part of this resolution along with the wage. As part of this resolution along with the wage. Need a motion, please?
I make a motion to pass a resolution approving the job description and wages of the Assistant Chief of Police position for the city of Perry, Iowa.
Second.
Discussion?
So I'll let, no, you already stood up.
As the resolution says, we're working on doing some restructuring of our department as far as supervision goes. What this would do is, if this is approved, that would promote Jim Archer from sergeant to an assistant chief's position. Jim's been a police officer since, a full-time police officer since 1994, came here from the city of Harlan, started here in 2000. I believe he was promoted to sergeant in 2003. He's held that job ever since. He's also been field training officer, a defensive tactics instructor on our TAC team, among other things. James is just basically my right-hand man, and this gives him that opportunity to move up in our department and spread out some of our duties and supervision a little bit more.
I'd also mention that this position has existed. It's just been vacant since Eric was promoted to chief back in 2014.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
So just readopting the position profile or the job description and setting the wage to bring it into 2022.
Any other discussion or questions?
I guess also to note, Personnel Committee met with Mr. Archer, Sergeant Archer, and I think everybody feels very comfortable with that transition.
Yes. I guess the next step would be, we'll be also promoting another officer to the position of sergeant to take over Jim's position. And so that will happen immediately after Jim is hopefully approved. And then hopefully in the next year we're going to develop another supervisor also and have another sergeant on staff. This is the plan right now.
Okay. Thanks for the update. Any other questions or discussion? I guess not. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Next item under new business, resolution approving job description and pay range for the marketing and engagement coordinator position in the city of Perry, Iowa. The marketing and engagement coordinator position would be responsible for supporting and promoting the communication goals of the city by performing a range of activities. These various activities would include, but are not limited to, updating website content and social media platforms, writing/editing, and producing both written and graphical content for a variety of print and digital projects, developing and implementing a marketing and engagement plan, developing and managing special events. The job description is attached and part of this resolution, along with a wage range of $45,000 to $55,000. Need a motion, please?
I make a motion to pass resolution approving job description and pay range for the marketing and engagement coordination position for the city of Perry, Iowa.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
So this position was part of that discussion we had with our withdrawal from the Des Moines Convention and Visitors Bureau. So bringing some of that marketing and promotion activity in-house. Also, I think a big part of what I'm excited is it takes a few of the duties off of Liz and Susie and has somebody focused on marketing, communications, and engagement. So they'll be able to do the city newsletter, run all of our social media, and do a little bit more proactive engagement marketing to our citizens as well as externally to new residents, new businesses, things like that. So also want to thank Susie for her years of service running our Facebook page. I think she will still, however, reserve the right to post the pictures of the animals from the pound. She enjoys that, so. But that's kind of some of the background of the position. Are there any specific questions on that?
When will you start interviewing?
Well, hopefully I can get a position profile put together and pushed out here in the next week or two. Then probably looking at having a 3-ish or 4-week posting window. So probably interviewing in October sometime. So higher October, November. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
I think this is an important next step as we continue to move forward in promoting our city, our communication goals and marketing the city. We're continuing to grow and I think we want to get the word out there. And I think this will be one additional step to accomplishing that. Any other discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Parkland,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Thank you. Having no other business before us tonight, we stand adjourned at 5 PM. Covered a lot of territory and spent a lot of money. Thank you.
That'd be true.
It is.